All right, a grammar intervention for Sun Girl. We have the midterm coming up, and if this is after the midterm, it still works. So what we're dealing with in Sun Girl are both accusative and ablative prepositions. To understand which one you need, you have to memorize the declensions. We started in chapter 1, moving onward, especially with the accusative and the ablative. That's the case. Only the accusative and the ablative take prepositions. So therefore, as you can see from this chart, M's or S's. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's singular or if it's plural, it's still accusative. It doesn't matter if it's ablative plural or ablative singular, it's still ablative. All right? That would clear up some things. Then, if we remember that third declension is also similar, but you still have the accusative. And in the nominative and the plural accusative, they look alike, but it doesn't matter. Still accusative. Only the accusative will take a preposition. Ablative will take in the singular or in the plural. Doesn't matter which. You just got to be able to identify and memorize those right now. Datives used for indirect objects and genitives used for possessive. You don't necessarily need to see that yet. You just have to have it memorized. So in this case, plural accusative. In this case, singular accusative. Now that's the sexy distractor right there, right? Puerorum versus puerum. So you see that distractor is kind of distracting, but it's really number 4. And the plural ablative. So therefore, straightforward right there, long IS. All right, let's take a look at prepositions we have to worry about. There's about, I'd say 15 prepositions that take the odd, but the ones you need to worry about are underlined here. Odd plus accusative limit phrase, that's 2. Pair plus accusative through phrase. Prope plus accusative near phrase. And then finally, trans plus accusative across phrase. So odd plus accusative, ad urbem venit. He came ad urbem to the city. Ad hostem toward the enemy. Prope plus the accusative is just a position nearby, right? Tam prope Italiam videre, to seem so near Italy. They were hoping near the day, so near prope plus accusative. Trans plus accusative, across. So in other words, trans mare current, they run across the sea. Trans caput iaque, throw it over your, across your head. Trans Rhenum incolent, they live across the river Rhine. Now, pair is kind of similar, but it basically means through. Through and across are two different things. You could walk across a puddle, but when you walk through a puddle, you're going to get, well, muddy feet. So he throws the spear through both thighs, which is really cool. It's Caesar, that's later. He ran off through the middle of the enemy. So that concept of going straight through. All right, here we go. So Quintus arrives at the house. Odd plus accusative. So remember, in being a prom date, worst case scenario is your mom. You don't want to take your mom out for prom. Next worst case scenario is that cross-eyed cousin. All right, so now you have a choice between the prom queen or king or the sexy distractor, something that looks really good, but it's a wrong answer. Now, both of these are accusative. Odd takes either one, but you have to look back if they give you a translation. Why? At the house. Singular house or plural houses? It's singular. So that was the sexy distractor, and there's the prom king or queen. Moving on. Pair, we know, takes the accusative. So where's your choice? Worst choice for a date for prom? Your mom. You don't want it's we. That's nominative. What's your other choice? We, I, cross-eyed cousin right there. So you have, again, prom king or queen or sexy distractor. Well, you remember that M stands for the accusative, but rum, arum, or aurum, that's genitive plural. So there was your sexy distractor. Start crossing out on these tests the wrong answers. All right, let's talk about ablative prepositions. You only have to worry about 4 for this test so far. A or ab plus the ablative. That means separation from. E or X plus the ablative. That means out of. When you go from the building, that doesn't mean you went into the building. When you go out of the building, you go out the exit. You have an in plus ablative place phrase in the middle of in or on. And then finally, sub plus ablative under, as in a subway. So a could be a or ab, depending if the next word begins with a vowel, right? A classe, they strive from the fleet. He flee from the most wicked city. All right. E or X plus the ablative, same idea. If the next word begins with a vowel, it's X. If the next word begins with a consonant, it's E. So it's out of. He flew out of all parts. Right? He flew out of Spain. Right? In plus ablative, in or on, right? In corde, in cadabro, some in their heart, others in their head, right? In that location, in the battle. So therefore, in plus the ablative, and then pro plus the ablative in front of phrase, that often occurs. I don't think you have to worry about this for this test, though. Sub plus the ablative under, you do. Sub like subway. All right, let's see what we got. Oopsie. E, parva. Oh, X plus the ablative. Now, these are adjectives, and adjectives will agree in nouns in gender, number, case, so we have to find a noun here that's going to be part of this separation phrase, or source phrase, out of. X doesn't take the dative. Nothing takes the dative, or the genitive, or the nominative. Now, we remember that X takes the ablative. That's true. But it doesn't take the accusative, so we either have this or this. We have a long IS or long A. Well, we've already been given a hint here. This is singular ablative, so that would be the sexy distractor. It would be singular ablative. In takes what case? In with the static verbs takes the ablative. So what you go into prom, what's your worst case scenario? Well, there's your mom. It's a nominative, right? There's your dative or genitive plural, or dative or genitive singular nominative plural. And then finally, in doesn't take the accusative, it takes the ablative. All right, so that's everything in Sun Girl. This will be an intervention. Make sure you know your cases and remember which prepositions go with which. It's only about 4 and 4 right now, 4 accusatives and 4 ablatives. All right, so you want to take your time, get this video right. Take your time on those, and that way you'll have a great intervention. Good luck, and I'll be seeing those results shortly.